Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons and our PGA series here with Willie Champion as we are here in the Korn Ferry Tour season opening tournament. This one is set up to be a good one. We are at the TPC Deer Run. Now this is round number 4. Okay, we've had some up and down rounds as we've gone through the first 3. We've had some difficulty with our putting. We started out the first round shooting under par pretty well, about 6 under. And then, what happens in round 2 and 3, we added more bogeys and a few more 3-putts than what we really needed. So what ended up happening is we are tied for first. So we're averaging about 5 under per day when really I think we have potential at these courses to be 8 under. Now these are set up a little bit different than PGA courses. They're not as difficult as those PGA ones, so you'll see some higher scores here for the most part. Now, so getting this first hole started off a par 4 with good drive right down the middle of the fairway, leaving us just under 100 yards remaining in. But we tried to do the pitch, and we completely screwed that one up. Like I said, we've got to get our pitch timing down. Coming into this one, it is with a 10-mile-an-hour wind against us, which kind of screws with us, but that doesn't affect my use of the sticks for timing. Now our third shot, we do chip that one on up there, roll it right next to the pin, and set ourselves up for a decent par opportunity. Basically a par scramble for a save. Not much movement on this putt at all as we just knocked that one in. And we are still tied with Harmony Nolan here after 1 at 17 under. Then Andrew Neal and Donovan Bruce are next at 14 under. Both those guys are tied for third. So here the second hole is going to be a par 5 facing into the wind once again. Now we're going to try to shape this hole. I know the wind's going to be blowing at us, but if we can try to shape that one around and get a good bounces, which it looks like that's what we're going to need just to avoid the bunker here on our tee shot, and we don't get our bounce, and we're going to bunker it up right off the tee onto the beach. It's not going to set us up all that well to try to go for something here with our second shot. Distance-wise, I think we can do it, but hitting a 5 hybrid, we change it up to a 5-wood. I just got to make sure to clear that lip as we fire it off, and that's going to kind of go right through the tree and off to the right. Thank God for light branches as we roll it on up. Not nearly as close as what we want it to be, but trees will have a habit of doing that. So our third shot, our approach here into the green, it is a lot of movement from the right to the left. Wind's blowing at us at a slight angle, so we'll kind of try to use that to our advantage. As we hit that one up, and it's not going to go. We knock it just short. But like I do trust my chipping game. I do trust that fairly well. So here from just off the green, we chip that one on up, and it rolls right past the pin. And right down that slope. Leaving us about a 4-foot putt here for par. Back-to-back scrambles if we can knock this one in. As we send that ball towards the cup and it drops in on the left edge, making us back-to-back pars, still remaining 17 under here in the final round at TPC Deer Run as we look confused at what to do next. So Andrew Neal staying at 14 under. Donovan Bruce did drop a shot, so Neal's in third, Donovan in fourth, and Ino Salo is sitting there in 5th place. Now we have dropped to second after back-to-back pars. We're still at 17 under, but we are now officially in second place. Wind going left to right pretty heavily. We try to play with that one as we hit the tee shot going. And we may have put too much on it for the club we're using. But no, we get it to check up, and it's rolling right back next to the pin. That's going to set us up with a beautiful birdie opportunity. Played that one just about perfect. Looked like it may have started to roll too far, but it did land soft enough on that green. So right to left putt for birdie, and we knocked that one center cup, moving us back into a tie for first place at 18 under here. In this one, 3 holes through. The 4th hole is going to be a par 4, about 415 yards with a little right to left wind. Got to play smart with that one and all these hills and these sharp banks with how that ball can bounce. Now that one does look like it's going to be right there in the middle of the fairway where we need it to be, in a good little kick off those mounds, and the ball rolls about 308 yards on that drive. So our second shot, pin is placed really at the front, so not a whole lot of green to work with on the front side. Need to be a little careful with that one as we hit this approach in. Going in with a 9-iron, we hit the pitch shot and actually timed that one out pretty well. But it looks like the ball's not going to get there. I think trying to put the spin on it knocked it up a little higher and affected that flight pattern. So here we are left with a chip to get right up next to it as we knock that one up, and that's going to drop in. We do chip that one in. A great job there to knock that chip in to give us ourselves another little birdie. Like I said, I trust our chipping game. I really do. I really do trust it. As we're going to take a look at that one just one more time here right quick. Intense focus as we knock that one up. Got it to roll. That's the biggest thing with chipping in this game, is the roll that comes after that. It's going to be pretty hefty. So we were able to play the break of that green going right to left pretty well. And that's going to give us a one-stroke lead here coming into the 5th hole of this Deer Run. 5th hole is going to be a par 4, dogleg to the right, about 410 yards. Needing to play the wind with us and got to be smart about it. And the tee shot is going to be pretty well stroked right down the middle. Got to be careful with where that fairway ends and this tee shot rolling a little too far as it continues down the hill and into the light rough. I'm disappointed, but a light rough's not too bad of a setup. It's not going to affect the shot all that much, especially with a 9-mile-an-hour wind at our back. Coming 117 yards for this approach shot. We are taking a gap wedge. Pretty good swing on that one, but the wind is pushing us pretty far past the hole as we hit over the green. All right, so another little chipping opportunity. And I think this one has a good shot to go in if we play the green just right. We hit that chip, it's going to roll, and it continues to roll past and off the green on the other side. That's what I was talking about, that little roll, the roll that occurs on these chips. So now we got to chip in for par as we knock that one up right by the pin, and we're going to drop a shot, leaving us just under a foot for the bogey putt. And we drop back down to 18 under, but good thing for us, Harmony Nolan is remaining at 18 under through the 5th hole, so we're back to a tie for first place. Can't be dropping too many of them. We got to take advantage of these par 4s. They're not that long. We got to play them better. The 6th hole is going to be a par 4, about 350 yards, but it's a sharp little dogleg and a big gap between the end of this initial fairway and where the green stands. So we will take not our driver coming off, but a 3-wood, as we'll fly that one right down the end of the fairway there and get set up with a decent approach opportunity. So about 108 yards away, looks like we're going to be taking a sand wedge, left to right wind at about 10 miles per hour. As we put a good little swing on it, the wind is blowing it right towards the flagstick, a little far for us. Needed to check up, and it does. It will stop right there. So we are on the putting surface, which is all I can really ask for on all these approach shots. This putt looks a little difficult being left to right break pretty heavily, about 15 feet. Putt slightly downhill, not too much of an impact though. We just got to play this break right or else that ball will roll. So we swing that putt right at the pin, and that's going to drop in. We're going to get that stroke back that we just lost. Birdie, birdie, bogey, birdie in the last 4 holes has put us at 19 under for this tournament. A great putt right there to give it to us, and we're still tied for first with Nolan after 6 holes. So coming into the 7th, we are now facing a par 3. This is a 215-yard par 3. Pin's actually around 218, 220 yards away, and so we need to play it smart. When you're taking these woods off a tee, they can fly a lot further than what they indicate, and we just took a little too much on that one, I believe. Have to see how we play that with the wind, and need it to once again have a soft landing for us, and it does hit, and it's going to roll just a little bit beyond a pretty decent putt or shot with what we were taking. So we're 13 feet away. Got a good left to right break. Need to be sure to play this one just enough. As we send that putt on in, and it's going to go just on the outside of the cup. A little too much. Added on a little extra inch of break onto that putt, and that's going to cause us to miss it, so we will make a par. Now Nolan does birdie that one, and he takes a 1-stroke lead on us now as we're in 2nd at 19 under. Andrew Neal is in 3rd at 16 under. As we come to the 8th, the 412-yard par 4 here. Pretty open fairway with the bunkers to the left, but the wind's going left to right, and we normally, if anything, push the ball, so I'm not too worried about coming into the bunkers off this tee shot. We blast it right down the middle there. A good smooth swing, getting us a little over 300 yards down the fairway, leaving us with 110 yards left to the pin. These pins are at the front, leaving no space at the front of the green for this ball to roll and to play with. 9-mile-an-hour wind at our back. Got to be sure to take that into account as we hit this shot here. And we put a good stroke, it looks like, just needed to play right off the bounce. And it hits a couple times, and it will check up. That's going to be a beautiful opportunity for a birdie 6 feet away. And we might be able to claim one back again. Little left to right breaker as we swing that one. That's going to drop in there into the cup. That's going to get us a stroke back, as we're now 3 under on the front 9 here at 20 under par so far through 8 holes here in the final the final round of the Korn Ferry Tour Opener here at TPC Deer Run. Tied for first once again at 20 under, coming into the 9th hole, getting ready to make the turn. Now this is going to be a 475-yard par 4 here, fairly straight, not a whole lot of turning to it. The wind blowing right to left this time and causes a little bit of a draw, which kind of works out for us better as we hit a good drive right down the middle of the fairway there. And that sets us up with 187 yards into the pin, which is once again at the front with no space to play with. Looking at it, we're going to take about a 6-iron from this distance and try to use the wind to help us out here. As we get a good shot, the wind is actually moving it a little further to the left than I anticipated, but it does land on the green, and we need it to stop, and it will. About pin height, but we got a good left to right breaker for birdie. So trying to read these greens properly and how much is actually going to break is a little difficult. It's something we're going to have to work on as we go through our career here, as we swing that one by, and that's actually going to roll thanks to that break about 6 feet away. So now coming back at it, 6 feet for par, hitting up the slope at least. We swing that putt in, and it will thankfully drop. We come into the front 9, 3 under, 20 under for the tournament, and we'll have to see how Harmony's doing as we check the scoreboard here. But our putting is going to have to get better, right? It's good enough for the Korn Ferry Tour. It's not going to be good enough if we can reach the PGA. So we are still tied for first as we make the turn, coming into the par 5 10th. And once again, a pretty straight on, but the water hazard up by the green, it can play with you, especially since we have a left to right wind, which can blow the ball straight into the drink. And our tee shot is going to be played pretty well here, coming right down the middle of the fairway, setting us up just about, the drive went about just over 300 yards, not by much though, so 275 yards into the pin. We're going to try to take this thing well to the left side of it. I can deal with any bounce, and I'm fairly certain that wind is going to do what it's doing right now and blowing the ball right back into the middle of the fairway. And that's not the kick. It's going to hold on, though. That right kick makes me nervous, going towards that rough and towards that water. So we will have a nice little chip shot or pitch shot onto the green here for the third shot of this par 5 10th. It's pretty steep left to right breaking green. Got to watch out for that ridge that's right there. As we take that and swing our chip in, playing with the green here, and it's going to roll this ball right back towards the pin. And a great shot by Willie to knock it within just a couple feet and set us up beautifully here for an easy birdie opportunity as we take advantage and now have a 1-stroke lead here in the tour opener. 21 under after 10 holes, 4 under on the day. That's going to bring us to the 11th, which is a 415-yard par 4 straight on. But one thing about TPC Deer Run is how they break up their fairways. So your drive is generally about 320 yards. Then there's a big old gap, a heavy rough, followed by a minor little fairway portion right before the green. And so that one we do play it just perfectly, 278 yards right down the middle, leaving us with about 140 yards into the pin. Now the wind is slightly at our back, so we are going to have to take that into account here. As we give it a pretty good swing on that and need it to land softly and to check up so it doesn't roll too much. It hits, and it's going to stop just about hole height and actually track back towards the pin just slightly. and set us up with another birdie opportunity as we can try to go back-to-back here to start out the back nine. But this is a pretty tough putt that we're looking at. This may be 4 foot, but that's not simple as we drop that one in. I kept the pin in that time, made me nervous there. As we move it to 22 under here for the tournament, we are now 5 under for the day. Harmony Nolan sitting at 20 under as he's gone back-to-back pars here to start the back nine. And that's going to bring us here to the par 3 12th hole, as it's about 196 yards away from us. Looks like we have our 5-iron in the hand. It's a right to left wind, and we're going to have to take that into account as we do play this one. So we get set up for our tee shot, and we put a good solid swing on it. And that ball did rise high, trying to put that spin, tracking right at the pin, and that's going to miss the pin in the cup just barely as the ball does land, and it checks up, but here comes right back down the ridge a little bit, and that's going to be a beautiful opportunity for birdie for us. Great shot there by Willie to get that one within 7 feet. Little right to left breaker, but this is definitely makeable. As we take this putter back, and we're not going to play enough break, and look at that, it just rolls right past. We didn't play enough break and a little too much speed, and it rolled to 7 feet past the hole. Went from 7 feet before to 7 feet again. As our par putt comes at it, we missed the stupid lip on that. It looks like it has so much more break than what it did, and we'll drop a shot, take a 2-stroke lead, make it a 1-stroke lead. Not because of anything Harmony did, but because of a 3 putt there on a par 3. Now trying to rebound, coming to the 13th hole, which is a par 4, about 400 yards here. Wind going left to right this time. As we take it right off the tee, a beautiful shot, pretty wide open fairway, so not a whole lot of risk of going into either one of those bunkers or the rough, as long as you put a decent stroke to it, which we were able to do. Now leaves us with about 105 yards into the flag stick. Still got to be careful with that wind. And we hit that pitch, and it's going to go way short. Did not put enough on it. Hit it too fat. And that's going to leave us with about 20 more yards to the pin here. So taking account for the roll this time, not a whole lot of break to this shot. Just got to put a smooth, straight stroke. As we hit that one up, that's going to land, and it's rolling, but it should stop right next to the pin, and that's going to be a perfect opportunity to save par. See, we're good at the par scrambles. You know, you get us around the green, we've got it nailed. It's just getting onto the green and from about 100 yards in gets a little rough for us. So we will par that and remain at 21 under. Harmony is now tied with us as we come into the 14th hole. It's a par 4, relatively short, but the wind doesn't really allow us to play too much with the trees. So we have to be careful. Wind is going right to left. And this time we're going to take a 3-wood off the tee box because I figure if we have a driver, we don't have potential to land it on the green, but coming off this slope here, we might shoot ourselves into a bunker, which I do not want to get caught in. So our drive does go down the fairway, leaving us with about 57, 58 yards remaining to the flag stick here. As we get set up for the pitch shot, we do have a lob wedge in our hand. A nice little swing on that one. Just got to get it to hold up for us, and it will just at the edge of the green. The wind did not have as much of an effect as I thought. But, hey, we do hit the green in regulation, so we got that going for us here. And we have a birdie opportunity. Now trying to get this one to fall in, Willie steps up to his putt and eyes it 13 feet, right to left break, but not too steep. Problem is it's a downhill putt, so we will have to be careful with our speed. As we send a good-looking putt there right past the cup, and it just continues to roll. Didn't play enough. I thought we may have played too much in all reality, but nope, didn't play enough the first time. Leaves us with 8 feet coming right back up this hill at the cup. And this time we hit our putt, and we're going to miss it again. Now I played too much break. Not enough the first time, too little the second. And now we've dropped ourselves to 20 under, and Harmony apparently has decided to make birdies. And he's got a 2-stroke lead now, 22 under. As now we're chasing him down. We were the hunted, now we're the hunter here. as we come to the par 4 15th hole, about 450 yards. A little bit tighter of a tee shot as we take it right over that tree, a risky thing to do. May not have cleared it, but we were able to get over it, and that's going to be a beautiful drive right there in the fairway, leaving us about 150 yards remaining. So here you really just want an opportunity to get on the green. It does slope right towards the pin. So I think if we can get on or around the green, which should be pretty good. That shot is going to be up. It's going to take a miracle, it looks like, for get it to stay on this green. But it just bounces and checks up and stops right there. So nice little shot to hit the green in regulation and give us a birdie opportunity. That's all I asked for, is just the opportunity. 4 holes to go. We're still trailing by 2 strokes. But we are on the green with an opportunity to get one back. A slight right to left break. We send this birdie putt towards the cup, and we don't play enough. It doesn't look like it breaks that much. It really doesn't. But we don't play enough, and we miss that putt. So we remain 2 strokes down with 3 holes remaining here in the final round of the Korn Ferry Tour Opener at TPC Deer Run. 16th is going to be a par 3. 145 yards for us, as we looks like we have our pitching wedge out, facing into a 6-mile-an-hour wind. A nice looking swing on that shot, and that ball is flying, tracking towards the green, but it's not going to make it. Comes up short, leaving us with an opportunity to chip, which, hey, I've told you before, I feel pretty confident about doing this. So 13 yards to the pin. As we do have our lob wedge out, we chip that one up, and it needs to stop, and it's going to stop right next to the pin. So we'll at least be able to save par here. Now, being 2 strokes down with 3 remaining, you hate to have to scramble for par. And all I can really do is hope at this time that Harmony just kind of chingaways everything. And they did drop a shot. Harmony dropped a shot to be 21 under now. They bogeyed the 16th hole, the par 3. And now we're 1 stroke back with 2 holes remaining, and we have got a par 5. Fairly straight on par 5. The tee shot's a little tight with the trees, but after that I think we can make a run at this flag, or at this green, for our second shot, as we hit a nice one, just skimming the tree line there on the left side. That ball is going to fall into the fairway about 310 yards down the road. So 240 yards remaining. The flag is on the right side, kind of blocked off by those bunkers, so we have to be careful with how we're going to play this one. As we're looking at, looks like we're taking it pretty decently to the left with our 3-wood, having the wind help us out here, figuring if we can get this on the green, we'll just let the slope take it, and it's going to hit that hefty ridge. Now it's going to come right back down, and this has got an opportunity to go in. Are you kidding me? As it rolls past and kind of stops near, beautiful opportunity for an eagle. And that's exactly what we needed. That is what we needed. Slight left to right break. An eagle opportunity. We're trailing by 1. This will give us 2. As we eye this putt up and we send it towards the cup, and that's going to drop in for the eagle. We will have an eagle sitting at 22 under here on the 17th. We are 1 stroke down coming into this hole. Let's see what Harmony pulled off on the 17th. And he will birdie as well. So now we're tied for the lead coming into the final hole of the Korn Ferry Tour Opener. Hole number 18 to try and decide it all here in the first tournament. Little right to left wind, so we're going to play this down the right side because it gets kind of tight right there. And let the wind kind of blow us back into the fairway. As we hit that one, the wind is doing its job, and we should land in the fairway. Need a solid bounce as we get a good kick off the ground there. And then we're just going to roll us to right in the shade of those trees in the short stuff. Now with 155 yards away from the pin, still right to left wind. I really want to avoid the water on the left side. We do play it kind of heavy on the right. Got to be careful of those bunkers, especially if you take a bad kick. And that one is going to land. It lands on the green, and that's going to stop right there. Beautiful opportunity for a birdie. This is what we needed. We're about 10 feet away, maybe a little less, with a birdie opportunity here for the birdie and possibly the win. We got a right to left break. Need to play this one smart. 7 feet away, and here we go in our first Korn Ferry Tour Opener. We get that one to drop. Now what did Harmony do? We're going to the replay. We have to have won this one. I'm fairly certain we did if we go to the replay. For the birdie and the win. right there, dropping it in the cup. The Korn Ferry Tour is ours, the season opener, and we are going to take this one in dramatic fashion. Birdie on the 18th to do it, and we will win this tournament. And actually, Harmony bogeyed the 18th, so we win by 2 strokes. A great job to shoot 6 under on the day. Great way to come back after we had some faults and some slips-ups. What a battle with Nolan, though. Got to give that guy credit. Now, I will say this. If y'all have not hit the subscribe button already, definitely do so as we continue with Willie through his PGA career here. Hit that subscribe button and that notification icon to be notified of all the uploads that we do, so you can track Willie in his career here with the Korn Ferry Tour as we try to get onto the PGA and become a champion. And so we do have some new sponsor things happening. We'll let that kind of go through and see how it shapes out. And then we'll continue on with the Korn Ferry Tour in the next episode, everybody. So as always, stay safe. I'm going to let y'all go from here, and I will see y'all in the next one. So y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.